You've seen them, right? Those videos that pop up in your feed, the ones that just brilliantly break down this growing crisis of stupidity in our world. They're sharp, they're super compelling, and man, they go viral for a reason. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on why these arguments feel so right and dig into a really fascinating paradox that's sitting right at their core. So let's get into the machinery behind these viral critiques and see what really makes them tick. I mean, wow. A line like that just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? That's not just an observation, that's a full-on declaration. It suggests there's a plan, a deliberate design behind all the chaos we see. And that, right there, is the big idea we're going to unpack today. All right, so let's start by just laying out the argument these videos make so effectively. It's a story that, honestly, a lot of us find pretty easy to believe, that there are powerful forces out there, and their main goal definitely isn't to make us smarter. So the theory basically goes like this. Some kind of malicious elite, corporations, politicians, take your pick, is actively engineering a dumber, more obedient society. And why would they do that? Well, because an ignorant population is just easier to control, right? They're less likely to push back, and they're way more profitable. It's a clean, powerful story. Okay, but before we start poking holes in this idea, we really need to get why it's so convincing. These videos aren't just angry rants. They are, in fact, incredibly well-built pieces of persuasion. So what's the secret sauce? Well, the secret is a classic formula. It's all built on 5 ancient elements of rhetoric that, together, create this complete, compelling worldview. You've got the speaker's credibility, the logic they use, the emotional hook, that sense of we have to act now, and, of course, a call to action. Let's break down how each one of these works. And if we look a little closer, you can see exactly how these pieces lock together. The speaker's ethos, their credibility, comes from positioning themselves as an outsider who sees the truth. The logos, their argument, uses data and history to make it feel rock solid. Kairos creates the urgency. This isn't some future problem, it's happening right now. And Tellus gives us a way to fight back. But the real engine here, the thing that makes it all go, it's pathos. It's the creation of a clear enemy. That conflict is what makes you, the viewer, feel smart, angry, and most of all, totally engaged. So yeah, it's a very persuasive argument. It feels right in your gut. But what if this entire way of thinking, this whole hunt for a villain who's making everyone stupid, what if it's looking at the problem from the completely wrong angle? What if the system has an entirely different goal? Let's play with a different idea for a minute. What if this system we're all in, our social media feeds, our entire media environment, what if it doesn't actually have a villainous plan to make you dumb? What if instead its goal is much simpler and way more automatic? And this chart just nails that shift in thinking. The viral theory says there's a plan and it's fueled by our ignorance. But what if the system's reality is just an automated loop? Its only goal is to get us to talk more, to post more, to generate more communication. And the fuel for that isn't ignorance. It's something way more powerful: engagement. Now, to really get this, we need this key term, communicative fitness. It's basically the ability of an idea to survive and spread in the digital jungle. And in this environment, the fittest ideas aren't always the truest or the most thoughtful. Nope, they're the ones that spread the fastest. And it turns out nuance is slow. It's complicated. But conflict? Conflict is like lightning in a bottle. So why is conflict the apex predator in this whole attention economy? Because it takes a shortcut right past our rational brain. It hits us directly in our identity, our emotions. It gives us a tribe, a team to root for, and a clear villain to fight against. And that generates an endless stream of clicks, comments, and shares, which is the literal definition of engagement. Conflict, my friends, has perfect communicative fitness. Okay, now let's bring these two big ideas together. We've looked at the powerful rhetoric of the anti-stupidity video, and we've looked at the basic mechanics of our digital world. This is where we find the big, mind-bending paradox. So let's rewind. Remember our rhetorical breakdown? We said the emotional engine of that viral critique is pathos, right? The appeal to our feelings. And we said that engine runs on one specific kind of fuel: a powerful story of conflict, a clear us versus them. Okay, now, on the other side, we have the digital system itself, the algorithm. Its prime directive, its core engine, is just to maximize engagement. And what's the most reliable, high-octane fuel for that engagement engine? You guessed it, it's conflict.
the exact same fuel. And this brings us to a pretty stunning conclusion. That viral video, the one that so brilliantly calls out the system, is actually a perfect product of the system. Its entire structure is perfectly optimized to have the highest communicative fitness possible in the very world it's criticizing. It isn't breaking the machine, it's one of its best performing parts.
So, if even the sharpest critique is just part of the problem, where does that leave us? Are we just stuck in this loop forever? Well, not necessarily. The way out might not be to find a better argument, but to start asking a much better question. See, this is how we reframe the whole thing. The old question, the one those viral videos are obsessed with, is who is making us dumb? It's a hunt for bad guys. But the systemic question is totally different. It asks, what incentives are shaping our conversations? This shifts our focus away from blame and towards simple awareness. So what do we walk away with? First, this whole divide between the smart people and the stupid people. The system loves that. It's pure conflict. Second, that feeling of outrage you get about stupidity, that itself is a viral-ready emotion. And maybe the most important takeaway, the critics, even with the best intentions, are often playing a role that was written for them by the same algorithm they're trying to expose. Which leaves us all with a final, really provocative thought. These systems, they run on our emotional reactions. Conflict, anger, division, that's the gas in the tank. So the real question for all of us isn't who to blame. It's about how we choose to engage. What happens to this whole machine when we, the people using it, just decide to stop providing the fuel it so desperately needs to run?